Okay, guys, this is my second try. Sorry, I goofed up a little bit in the last one. Okay, so last page we did was 50, this one right here, and we are going to be starting our new chapter, so we want to get our notebook all set up. And the next one that we have is linear functions. Now, this is a full sheet of paper that you want to do the 1/3 fold so that you get this over. We've done this many times to get our table of contents going. Now, we won't be putting anything across from that. We're not going to number it either. And I just want to take a quick second to remind you that in the directions to this Google post, I told you that if you're able to print, that's great. Print these out front to back. We're going to put these in. If you're unable to print, but you would really like a printed copy, please email me. I can probably print them for you and put them down in the office for you to pick up. And if that's not the case, you can use the digital copy that I provided. I posted at the top of our Google Classroom link, or you can just take notes on your own in your notebook using the examples that I provide in the video. Okay, so I'm sorry these are already in there. I will explain how to cut them, I promise. So the next page that you should grab from your packet will look like this here. Except it'll be looking like a full sheet of paper. So let me full sheet of paper. You are going to cut off like a little 1-inch strip. And if you flip it over, you'll be looking at this side. And you'll see along the bottom these words here and then a line above it. You're going to fold it down. And then I cut out 4 little doors. And that's going to go on page 51 sideways. Now the next one that you have is just a full sheet of paper that you should be looking at. It's going to look like this. You're going to want to fold the short ends into the middle and then cut your 2 little doors, and that will go on 52. I really hope this isn't confusing that you're not watching me cut them. I'm so sorry if it is. Next, the next page that you should have in your packet will look like this. All you got to do is fold in half like a book. It's going on page 53. Okay, next one is actually going to look something like this here, where, I mean, this is what it looks like, but along the top it says leave blank. Like I had it right here, leave blank. Boop. You can cut that leave blank right off. Then you're going to fold the short edges in, and you can cut it out, make 2 little doors. That's going to go at the bottom of 54. Okay, if we turn the page, we're going to number these two, 55 and 56. And here's where my notes get a little bit out of order. Okay, so the next one that you should have looks like this. The one after that looks like this. The one after that looks like this. Those 3 pages, so the next 3 pages, we're going to set those aside for a second. We will come back to them. Because on 55 and 56, I actually want the next one. So the one that's going to go on 56 has this point slope form at the top. I'm going to fold that one in half like a book. And it's going to go on 56. The one after that will look like this. It says point slope form at the bottom. Now, right past the graphs, there's like a strip of white that we can just cut off. We don't need that. And make it a little smaller so it'll fit into our notebook a little better. And then we're going to take this top edge and fold it down just above the word point slope form so that we can see this, this, this. And then like on those little lines right there, I'm going to cut to make 2 cuts to make 3 doors. If you don't want to cut, you can do. But that one is going to go sideways on page 55. And then the one after that, so 1, 2, 3, third one, will look like this. And right above that dashed line, we can cut that out, or cut it completely off, rather. So on the back of it says leave blank, just get rid of it. If we're looking at it like this, we're going to take the short edges and fold them in to the middle. I'm going to cut along the dashed line to get 2 little doors. And this one I'm actually going to tape on top of the little booklet that I put on 56. So on 56, I had this thing that said point slip form that I folded in half, glued down. On top of that, like, I mean, it's white, it's just blank. We should fill it with something. So on top of that, I'm going to put this little guy that I just cut out. Just glue it right on top there. I'm going to glue it towards the bottom because I might write some stuff above it, but no biggie if you don't. Cool. Okay, turn the page. We got 57 and 58. Now the 3 pages that we just set aside, we're going to use them now. So we had this one that says slope-intercept form at the bottom, and then this one that we set aside, slope-intercept form. Okay, so if we're looking at this one, slope-intercept form, we're just going to fold that in half like a book. It's going to go on 58. This one, slope-intercept form, has a little strip off to the left-hand side that you can cut off, and then just to make it a little smaller so it'll fit, then we're going to fold the top down until we get to that line that says slope-intercept form, and then I cut the 2 little strips to make 3 doors, and that's going to go sideways on 57. So guys, this page, or these 2 pages rather, are going to look a lot like the previous 2 pages that we did. It's just a different title. So like this says slope-intercept form. This last one said point slope form, but they look very similar, right? And the last thing is going to be the same idea too. So looking at this one here, we have this dashed line. On the other side it says cut this out. We're going to cut it off. We'll cut just above there. We're going to take the short edges and fold them to the middle. And then I'm going to cut on the dashed lines to make 2 little doors. That one, again, is going to go on top of that book because, I mean, how boring, just a plain book cover. We want something on it. Make it a little more interesting. Alrighty. Turn the page. So we're on 59, and then 60. So the next one that we have looks like, oh my gosh, I can't grab it, that. You're going to fold that in half like a book. This one's going to feel a lot like the other 2 that we just did. That's going to go on 60. The next one that we have in our stack of papers looks like so. I am going to cut off just past the graph here about a 1-inch strip just to make it fit in our notebook a little better. And then I'm going to fold this top down to the line right above the word standard form. And then again, I'm going to cut out along these 2 lines to make some doors. And I'm going to glue that in sideways on 59. And then the next one, just like we've had for the other ones. Now this one, unfortunately, can't cut off the top. But this one, if I'm looking at it this way, I'm going to fold in the 2 shorter edges to the middle. And I am going to glue this right on the front of that book that didn't have anything on the cover. So very similar to the last pages that we did. Alrighty. Turn the page. We got 61 and 62. So next one that we have looks like so. Boop. If you flip that over, we're going to fold that in half like a book, and that will go on page 62. The next one that we have, if you look at it like this, the top and the bottom are just repeated. So you're going to cut along this horizontal dashed line. And then, I mean, your choice. You can either keep the top or the bottom, but you don't need the other half because it's just the same thing twice. Now, if I flip this one over, I'm going to fold the short ends into the middle again. Actually, I have to overlap a little, otherwise the words get cut off, which is kind of annoying. And I'm going to glue this one towards the top of 61. Because the next one looks very similar. Where again, the top and the bottom halves are the same. So I'm going to cut along that horizontal line, and again, your choice. You can keep the top or the bottom, but you don't need both because they're the same. And I'm going to fold in the short edges to meet in the middle again with a little bit of overlapping because it didn't print quite right. Now this one I'm going to glue towards the bottom of 61. So we just want to make sure that these two smaller guys can both fit on 61. There we go. Just a couple more. So turn the page. We got 63 and 64. So the next one that you have here, same on both sides. I'm going to cut up the middle, and your choice. Keep the left-hand side or the right-hand side. That's going to go on 64. Next one. Lots of points. No cutting. You just got to fold into the middle, the short ends, fold into the middle. And then if you want to cut along the dashed lines to get little doors going, you can do that. That's going on 63. This feels like a long chapter already, and we haven't even started it. All right, turn the page. We got 65 and 66. The next one that we have, boom, flip that one over. We're going to fold the short ends into the middle. No cutting necessary. This one is going to go on 65. Next one, boop, boop. Flip that one over. Along this left-hand side, we have this dashed line. We're going to fold the right-hand side over to meet that line. And then I'm going to cut along those two lines underneath, or right above the word negative and then right above the word no to get our 3 doors. And that one is going to go on page 66. glue that one down on 66. We're going to turn the page. Call that one 67. Not going to number 68, just 67. And take that last one. Got a bunch of words on it. Looks like story problems. If you flip that one over, we have that line along the left-hand side again. We're going to fold like a backwards book to that. And then again, I'm going to cut along these dash lines. Glue that one down on 66, and then you are all set for this entire chapter. Which, guys, if you didn't catch the vibe by how long this video is, it's going to be a long chapter. So, we're going to take our time, make sure we really understand it. Just let me know if we are struggling, we can slow down, all that good stuff. So, that is that. Good luck. Here's my mouse.